we are going to discuss the topics which are related to planning and alignment surveys. So, we will be discussing about the highway planning surveys. So, the following are the parts of the highway planning phase. There are total two phases which are being included in the highway planning. First is the assessment of road length required for the district, state, or country. And second is about the preparation of master plan, which shows the phasing of the plan in annual or 5 years plan. Out of these two phases, the first, which is about the assessment of road length, which is required for any kind of district, state, or country, we are going to learn about those particular objective or the first particular phase. So the first phase is about assessment of road length required for the district, state, or country. So how to assess the road length required? For that, field surveys are required to be done. Now, the field surveys are required. Why they are required? They are required to collect the actual data, and the actual data are collected through the field finding surveys. They are also called as planning surveys. So, the assessment of road length is done by the field surveys. The field surveys are done with the help of planning surveys or field planning surveys. The planning surveys consist of the four following studies. First is the economic studies, second is the financial studies, third is the traffic or road studies, and fourth is about the engineering studies. The assessment of road length is done with the help of field survey, and the field survey is done with the help of planning surveys. These particular planning surveys are divided into four parts. First is about the economic studies, second is about the financial studies, third is about the traffic or road studies, and fourth is about the engineering studies. One thing which is required to be mentioned over here is that whenever you are joining a company as a traffic engineer and you are allocated a field work or office work for the construction of any highway, mark my words, for construction of any highway, one documentation is prepared. That particular document is known as DPR. The DPR's full form is detailed project report. It is not daily progress report, it is detailed project report. This particular DPR is made before the execution of any construction work is begin. The DPR consists of various kind of chapters, and all these chapters are also the part of economic studies, financial studies, traffic or road studies, and engineering studies. So ultimately, the assessment of road length is done with the help of field survey. Field survey includes four type of studies. First is the economic, financial, traffic, and engineering, and coincidentally all these four parts are part of a DPR report. The full form of DPR is detailed project report, which is prepared before execution of any work. So this was all about the planning surveys, or which is also known as fact finding surveys, because with the help of these particular studies you are able to find out various kind of facts which are related to the economic, the financial status, the traffic, and the engineering studies. Now let us learn a brief about all these particular methods of studies. First is about the economic studies. Now the various details which are to be collected, which are useful for estimating the economics involved in the highway development program, are as follow. Means whenever you are conducting economic studies, you have to consider these aspects. You have to consider the population distribution in the particular proposed area. You need to show and you need to see that which kind of population growth it is observed in that particular area where the construction of road is going to take place. Then what is the trend of this population growth? Now which kind of agricultural and industrial products and their listing are classified? Which kind of existing facilities with regard to communication, recreation, and education are present? And then you need to know the per capita income. So whenever you are conducting economic studies, you have to consider the part of population distribution, population growth, existing facilities related to communication, recreation and education, per capita income, and agricultural and industrial development, and its future trend in that particular area. Now let us talk about the financial studies or financial studies. Why these financial studies are required? The financial studies are necessary for various aspects such as sources of income and the manner in which the fund for the project may be mobilized. So whenever a team is going to conduct a financial study, the team has to consider various kind of collection of data with respect to sources of income, means income source, then estimated tax revenue, then what is the lifestyle of the people who are residing in that particular area, life standard of the people, and the future financial trends. See, you can see that all these aspects are directly or indirectly related with the financial aspects. The income source, the estimated tax revenue, the lifestyle of the people, the future financial trends. These are the details which need to be considered whenever a team is conducting financial studies. Now, that point is about technical aspect. It is about the traffic or road studies. The traffic survey should be carried out in the whole area, and all the selected routes should be considered and the locations should be considered with respect to the following data that I am going to narrate. A team has to collect the data of traffic volume in that particular area, that which kind of vehicles are moving per day, what is the annual average daily traffic, which is also called as AADT, what is the pattern of peak hourly volume, then which kind of mass transportation facilities are provided, are existing, what is the traffic flow pattern, what is the future trend and growth in the traffic volume and goods traffic. All the technical details which are directly or indirectly related to the traffic or road studies are required to be considered whenever a team is going to conduct traffic studies. And in engineering studies, all the details related to the topographic survey, then the details related to soil surveys, then the road life studies, which is also called as LCC, life cycle cost analysis. Then origin and destination kind of traffic studies. Various kind of studies are need to be procured. So the assessment of road length is done by field survey. Field survey is divided by four studies: economic, financial, traffic in engineering. Economic studies consider the various aspects of population and its growth. Financial studies consider various parts aspects related to the income source, revenue, lifestyle, financial trends, etc. Traffic studies include various kind of technical traffic surveys which are related to the highway, and engineering studies involve all kind of engineering surveys such as soil survey, topographic survey, location survey, road life survey, traffic survey, etc. So this is how a DPR is prepared. This is how the assessment of road length is done for any kind of district, state or country. Now we'll learn about the next topic, which is one of the most important topic of the traffic or transportation engineering or highway engineering, which is the road alignment. You might have heard the word road alignment at any kind of motor garage, auto garage. So what is this road alignment? We are talking about not the auto alignment or motor alignment. We are talking about the road alignment. So what is the definition of the road alignment? Road alignment means the position of the layout of the center line. You can see this is the center line. You have observed this center line on the road whenever you are traveling. So the position or layout of this center line, its placing on the highway, on the ground, is known as alignment. The position of layout of the center line, the position of layout of the center line of the highway on the ground is called as road alignment. This alignment can be divided into two parts. One type is about the horizontal alignment, which includes straight path. Then it also includes various kind of curves. It also includes horizontal deviators. So these are the types of horizontal alignment. And second type is about the vertical alignment. It includes various kind of summit and valley curves. These are the vertical curves. It also includes vertical gradients. Now, whenever as an engineer we are hired on any site or any company, we need to learn the answer of 3 WH questions, that what is this topic is all about, why it is required to be learned, and where I should utilize the knowledge. We have learned what is the role alignment. So it is the placement or center line layout position, the position of this center line on the ground is known as the definition of road alignment. It can be divided into two parts, horizontal and vertical alignment. Now, what are the requirements? Why it is provided? So let us learn the answer of why. It should be carefully decided before the construction of the road. Why? Why the alignment of the road carries utmost importance? So there are various kind of good alignment requirements. First is that if you do not provide alignment with proper care, it will harm in the future, so you will have to construct another alignment, so it will increase the cost of construction. If you do not provide carefully the road alignment, then it will increase the cost of maintenance also. It can also increase the rate of accidents, and it can also increase the vehicle operation cost. You might have observed number of times that whenever you are traveling on the road, and you might feel that you are not okay with traveling your vehicle on that particular kind of road. Maybe the reason is about the road alignment. So the road alignment is the position of the layout of the center line of the highway on the ground. It is called as alignment. Road alignment, there are two types, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal alignments includes the straight path, curves, and horizontal deviators. Vertical alignment includes various kind of curves like summit and valley curves, vertical curves, and vertical gradients. It is required to avoid the increased cost of construction, increased cost of maintenance, increased accidental rate, and increased vehicle operation cost. Now, what are the requirements of a good alignment? So there is a shortcut key through which you can remember the concept. What is the requirement of a good alignment? So you can remember the concept with the help of S square E square. S square means safe, short, and E square means easy and economy, or economical I should say. Means the alignment which is going to be proposed should be of 4 criteria inclusion. First is that it should be safe, it should be easy, it should be short, it should be economical. Why safe? Why the alignment should be safe? So the alignment should be safe enough for the construction and maintenance purpose, and it should also be safe for the traffic operation with safe geometric feature, that the road safety is increased, should be provided in such a way that the safety criteria is not compromised at all. Why the short alignment should be provided? What is the reason to provide the short alignment? So it is desirable to have a short alignment between two terminal stations. Why? Because a short alignment means it will be straight alignment. Let us took as example, this is the station A, this is the station B. If I provide this alignment, and this is number one. And if I provide alignment like this, now I can join the station A with B with any of the alignment. But if I use the first alignment, means the straight alignment, it would be automatically short enough, and it will be cheap in construction, and it will also reduce the time of travel. So it should be short, means it should be straight enough. Now the third is about easy. What is this easy? Means the alignment should be easy to construct and maintain. Means once the road is constructed, and if any kind of repair work takes place, there should not be problem to maintain the particular alignment. It should be easy for the operation of vehicles with easy curves and gradients. And last but not the least, it is about economical. It is the first priority of any engineer to provide the alignment which is economic. It should be selected in such a way that the total cost, including the initial cost, maintenance cost, and operation cost. Initial maintenance and operation cost is brought down to the minimum level. So it will be economical alignment. So this was all about the road alignment, its requirement. I hope you have gone through the topics thoroughly. Thank you so much for paying the attention.